Welcome to Overwatch. This time we'll be talking about Soldier 76.
We're all soldiers now.
In this video, we'll be looking into his equipment, abilities, and the playstyle that Soldier 76 promotes. We'll examine the notion of a direct assault and how 76 fills in the open slot that was lacking in Overwatch's roster, and also indulge in a little speculation on possible future spaces in that roster. Soldier 76 is our direct charge up the middle assault. Armed with an assault rifle and a little extra bang, as well as some support abilities, he should be considered the vanilla assault option for your team. Vanilla, however, does not mean boring. A good 76 player should be able to wreak havoc and turn a good push into a great one. To better understand why, let's look at his kit. Soldier 76's primary weapon is his heavy pulse rifle. This weapon has minimal recoil and a high rate of fire, and is probably the strongest mid-range weapon unveiled so far. With a clip size of 25 and decent reload speed, expect to be drilling out damage and setting people up for an easy pick-off. The secret kick to Soldier 76's weapon is his Helix rockets. On an 8-second cooldown, this explosive punch should be enough to finish off wounded enemies or throw out a sudden burst of extra damage. With a moderate cooldown, expect to be somewhat aggressive with this, but avoid spamming it. Missing could hurt your damage output a great deal. For a little bit of extra movement, Soldier 76 has Sprint. A simple movement option that gets him in and out of a battle rapidly. Sprint gives Soldier 76 a burst of speed as long as he keeps moving forward. This is as simple can be. Hold shift and you move quickly. Keep in mind that you cannot fire or use abilities while sprinting, however. This is a movement tool, not a combat steroid. Soldier 76 comes with a supportive surprise, however, in the form of the Biotic Field. By planting a Biotic emitter on the ground, he'll grant healing to anyone nearby. The notion of an assault giving healing isn't new, as any Battlefield player will support, and makes Soldier 76 firmly entrenched in his group assault role. More on this in a moment. Finally, we have his ultimate, his snazzy tactical visor. When activated, Soldier 76 locks onto all the threats he can see and will automatically lock his aim to the target nearest the crosshairs. This auto aim will give him a strong burst of guaranteed damage and an easy time of prioritizing targets. Aiming near the right person will be enough to make sure that the all-important mercy kill goes off, for example. It has two additional benefits. The first is an instant reload while firing, and the second is that your rockets will also benefit from the tactical visor. I saw a lot of almost disappointed reactions to this ability, but let me spend a few moments explaining why it's good. First, skill can come from timing this ability right, similar to a lot of the other ultimates. The gameplay preview shows this rather nicely, but more importantly, it's a strong tool because it's guaranteed damage. Part of why I rate Tracer's ultimate so powerful is that when it's pinned to someone, it is guaranteed to be effective. With Soldier 76, his ultimate is similar. Activate it and you'll do more damage. No list of conditions to fulfill, no easy counter like ducking out of sight for a second to break a slow lock-on. It's simple, effective, and powerful. You can run, you can kill Soldier 76, or you can hit him with crowd control. Otherwise, he's hurting you. Overall, Soldier 76 fills the gap that Overwatch's assaults have needed. With Tracer nipping all over the place, Reaper wanting close quarters and flanks, Hanzo striking from odd angles, McCree looking for duels, and Pharah in the sky, Overwatch has lacked someone who's at their best with the team. By providing solid damage from just about any range and being able to drop healing for the team, Soldier 76 wants to be nuzzling up behind a Reinhardt and staying with the pack, especially with his 200 hit point health pool. With Soldier 76 slotting into that core assault role, we now have most of our bases covered. There's only one or two openings that I can see in the roster before we start getting a lot of overlap. The first, some form of aggressive area denial. Think your Demo Man with a lot of indirect fire from Team Fortress 2, or Molotovs in Counter-Strike. The ability to make people not want to be in a certain area through persistent threat. While Bastion does offer some of this suppression, and Zarya does as well, something a little less locked down than Bastion and a little more dedicated to the role than Zarya remains open. The second niche is the desire to watch your back. Everyone's favourite tease and speculation fest, the Cyborg Ninja, still remains cloaked, so let's think seriously for a moment. Blizzard enjoys simple thematics. It should do what it looks like it does. So expect the Cyborg Ninja to fulfill that assassin role. Rapid, close combat kills that are risky by virtue of wanting to get into people's faces, or rather their backs. Expect a token ranged option, but survivability through subterfuge. Temporary cloaks and the like. Ultimately, I see a gap in a lack of punishments for not watching your back. While Tracer and Reaper solve this to some extent, they more heavily punish people for being caught away from the pack, aside from the pulse bomb. Having a pseudo spy could address that, but one that relies on rapid in and out kills rather than a pretense that disguises. So, who should be picking up Soldier 76 and what differs a good Soldier 76 from a great one? Well, honestly, everyone should be prepared to learn how to use this guy effectively. This is your bread and butter fighter, versatile in his uses and easily slots into any team. Attacking or defending, this guy's kit is built to be a solid all-round pick. You should consider him a good pick if you're also very willing to work with the team. While he can be effective alone, he lacks hit points and escapes, making his dueling weaker than others. Stick with your team, you're struggling one-on-ones unless you can handle the rockets. The Helix rockets provide a huge kick of damage against wing fights. They're not hit scan, however, so will suffer over medium range or could be avoided by a competent Tracer or Reaper, and that'd be bad. And he'd like being a grizzled old man with nothing to lose. With more pouches and worse art, he'd be a Robert Liefeld comic book hero incarnate. Overwatch now likely boasts the oldest cast of heroes in any first-person shooter, and I love it. Now with that out of the way, let's get into the heavily storied background of our mysterious soldier. Soldier 76, real name Jack Morrison, was once the former commander of Overwatch. A genetically enhanced super soldier himself, he was a very highly decorated veteran and has seen almost every kind of battle that could get thrown at a person. Then Overwatch was brought down and Jack Morrison went down with it, the man dying, but a ghost staying behind in the form of Soldier 76. Soldier 76 revealed himself to the world in a string of attacks across the globe, stealing high-tech prototype weaponry or taking down financial organizations and shadowy corporations that skirted the edge of legal. To an outsider, Soldier 76 appears little more than a terrorist, attacking and stealing without rhyme or reason, but to those in the know, his targets are carefully chosen, a pattern of vengeance against those who brought down Overwatch. Whether anything is really left of Jack Morrison behind the mask is anyone's guess, but I wouldn't rest easy if I were involved in Overwatch's fall. In terms of his place in the story, Soldier 76 is our figure for what was and what is. He was the shining light, the front man of a great organisation, and is now something that skirts around in the shadows, that crosses the line of legality and can't show its face. While Winston is our bright hope, Soldier 76 is our grim reality. With all this new background floating around, we can't help but wonder if there's even grimmer members of Overwatch, or Blackwatch, lurking around, especially without Morrison's admittedly scratched moral compass. Next time, we'll be looking at the heart of Overwatch in Winston, which will get released alongside his gameplay preview analysis in the near future. Thanks for watching to the end. I am but one channel amongst many, and I hope you learned a little about Overwatch's newest member. If you enjoyed the video, like, sub and all that fluff. I enjoy reading comments and discussions, so feel free to post them. Special thanks go to those of you who already are. Toodles!